Hi, I'm Pam Durant, the founder and managing director of Diapoint, a place for people touched by diabetes. My life was touched by diabetes over 11 years ago when my 20-month-old son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This month is Diabetes Awareness Month, and November 14th is Diabetes Awareness Day, or World Diabetes Day. The reason it's on the 14th is because that is the birth date of Sir Frederick Banting, who drove the research that invented insulin 100 years ago. It's a very special day for those of us with loved ones who are dependent on insulin. A lot of people ask me, and I'm sure one reason why you're listening to this video is how can I protect my child from type 1 diabetes? The reasons for type 1 are not known. Type 1 diabetes does not have anything to do with healthy lifestyle and what we feed our children. It is an autoimmune condition, and for unknown reasons, the body attacks the cells in the pancreas and then they no longer work. There's many reasons that are suspected for this happening, but there are no conclusive reasons as to what sets it off or why it happens, and therefore there is no cure. And while that sounds like really bad news, the good news is that you can live a long, happy, healthy, productive, and amazing life with diabetes. A lot of you probably, when you think about diabetes, and if I say, what does diabetes look like to you? You probably think of someone eating fast food or a lot of desserts or a lot of cakes, maybe someone that's watching too much TV and not exercising and very sporty. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the case for all people with diabetes. And none of us should really be eating too much fast food or not exercising and not taking care of our bodies. It can lead to insulin resistance, known as prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes. But type 2 diabetes is not always 100% the result of an unhealthy lifestyle. Sometimes our pancreas slows down and doesn't work just because we're genetically prone to it, or maybe as we get older, things like this might happen. So there are things that you can do for your health to help possibly prevent type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance. And I'm telling you these in the context of when we're talking about our children, because it's important that they learn these healthy habits now rather than have to relearn them or learn them for the first time when they're older. Healthy habits instilled in children when they're very young are much easier to embrace as adults, even if sometimes they don't always do it perfectly, but it's important that they learn about them now. First of all, mental health. Our mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. And better mental health means better performance in life responsibilities. It's also scientifically proven that it helps our physical health as well. Did you know that depression increases the risk of cardiac health issues? Stress hormones can affect our physical health by affecting things like the body's ability to regulate blood pressure and blood glucose. Sleep is another thing that's very important. We know that children grow when they sleep. We know that adults rehabilitate when they sleep. It's a time for rest. It's a time for our body to relax and reset. And without sleep, we can't do that. And that tends to also cause insulin resistance. Even, for example, if you're trying to lose weight and you're not sleeping well, it will be more difficult. The other thing that we can do, and maybe one of the most important things, is eat well. You know the saying, you cannot exercise your way out of a bad diet. And we all know that exercise is so important and so critical to manage our blood sugar, but even if we don't have diabetes, to feel good, to look great, and to stay healthy. But eating is also super critical. Big things do happen in our kitchen, and that includes eating as much of a plant-based diet as possible, meaning less processed foods. The less processed foods that we eat, the healthier that we will be. And we should be feeding ourselves this way. We should be feeding our children this way as well. Introduce as many fruits and vegetables as you can. Many people tell me, well, my child doesn't like vegetables. And that's okay, they may not. But maybe try to present them in a different way. Maybe put a little bit of them in some of their favorite foods. There's different things that we can try. When my son was really small, I used to put vegetables out on the table. We would all eat them. He wouldn't always eat it, but eventually he did, and he would explore and try. If your child sees you eating healthy, they will likely follow your lead. There is no way to avoid type 1 diabetes by eating better. The cause of type 1 diabetes is still unknown. It is not really clear why it happens in some children and not in others. There are some genetic components to it, and those are still being studied. What we can do is teach our children to eat healthy, to live well, and to take care of their minds and their body. And we should be doing this for all children, and as adults we should be doing this as well. We may or may not get type 2 diabetes. We should still also be living healthy and well. That is the key takeaway that I would love for you to take from this video today. Please also know that if you do get diabetes, it is a very manageable condition. In children, it's extremely hard. I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but I can tell you that they will grow up to be happy and strong and live a healthy life. And please also know that if you do get diabetes, or someone in your family or a loved one or a child has a diabetes diagnosis, there is no shame in having diabetes. There are many people with diabetes doing some of the most amazing things in the world today. I hope that is another takeaway from today's video. Thank you for listening, and please reach out if you ever have any questions. Thank you.